Afternoon, garden friends. The last couple of days, it has been hot. So, I am happy to be doing a collaboration with Vevor. As you guys know, my entire garden, well, except for maybe two areas, um, I hand water. And that's so I can stay on top of my weeds in the garden. But I ended up getting a retractable hose, but it's not long enough for the areas that I need to water. So Vevor uh, is sponsoring this video for me to install their 100-foot retractable hose. And this is the thing, guys. I love the retractable hoses because I don't know about you, back in the day, having to, roll up the hose, whether you got the cranker or you're manually doing it. This is such a time saver, and it makes watering so, efficient, where you're not having to, unwind the hose. You just end up pulling it out and going to the areas that you want to water, and then tug it and it retracts. This is my second one from Vevor, and I am really happy with how my 100-footer is doing in the backyard. So let's go ahead and open up the box and get it put up, because and then that way I can also go over the specs with you guys. So let's go on over here where we're going to place my retractable hose to get all of my front yard. All right, so like I said, this is the Vevor 100-foot retractable hose. And, I love the fact that, they give you these nice, sturdy wands to be able to water with, because I tell you what, we would go through these like nobody's business. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different options on the head. Like I said, real easy to be able to install. Oh, it's heavy. Uh, the retractable unit. Oh, I love the smell. Okay, that's weird. The smell of plastic. Okay. All right. So you get the retractable hole reel, mounting tool, tube, wall plugs, the garden hose, the multifunctional spray gun. Like I said, has the multiple ways that you can sprinkle. Copper male hose connector. You got the stopper, which is this, and this makes it really, really nice. And then the copper head nozzle, so you're not having to worry about anything rusting out on you. And the bolts that you need, and then tap to reel hose. And that's the thing that I love about this, is it makes it so much easier, when all you got to do is tug it and release it if you want to. But if you don't want it going all over the place, best to, release it while you're still holding it so it can go back. Let's see what other good information. Like I said, I have one in the backyard, and I am like super, super happy with how it works. And it doesn't seem as cumbersome as like the freestanding hoses that you use. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be putting it into the siding on our house. And so then what we'll end up doing is mounting this to the house. And I love the fact that it's actually just a little bit lighter than the color of the house. Getting this mounted up, and then this is the part that comes out, and you connect it once it gets mounted up in there. But when we go ahead and get this mounted, I'll make sure I'll end up showing you how simple it was, because I put the one up in the backyard. So let's go ahead and get the holes drilled so that we can go ahead and get this mounted, because like I said, we've been having some extremely hot weather in the high 90s, and I need to do my 5 beds up in the front. So let's go ahead and get this installed. All right, so Kevin has been nice enough to get this set up for me. One of the things that he's doing is he's actually caulking the holes where the previous retractable hose was with silicone, because don't want no, critters, not critters, but any water getting in the holes. But he's just gonna have to plug those guys up. All right, so he's gonna go ahead and get it lined up and get those bolts secured in there for me. When he makes that sound, you know it's nice and tight. And then isn't there a reason why you go the opposite side normally? Or is it
like here to here?
Yeah.
That's only if it's to keep one side going too tight.
Oh.
It doesn't apply in this situation.
Oh, okay.
But take these out anyway and caulk and silicone to put it back on.
So now that he has the holes done, he's gonna go ahead and silicone around it just to make sure no water gets through. And like I said, to be able to have the hose reach all the way around to the front of the house is why I'm like really excited about doing this collaboration with Vevor. Now he's just also sealing the outside of it with caulking, because it's paintable. So we'll go and just touch that up, but that's just to make sure no water is able to get in there. And all you really got to do is slide that over, fit that in there, and put the piece in there. Now it ends up going either direction. But because this bed here does have the drip system, this is, this was in there. It's a washer.
There's no seal in there.
For seal. Kevin just be stepping all over my plants.
You clumsy old man.
Just making sure that's on there nice and tight. What are those, little ants?
Yeah.
All right, guys, nice and easy. Retractable hose. So once the sun goes down a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and get the front yard watered But like I said, just love the ease of pulling it out. Multiple heads that it has. So depending upon your application, get down here and get my hydrangeas water, even though the system was on. I'm actually gonna water. And boy, look how far it shoots. My hanging baskets. I did them the other day because the heat was like really taking its toll on it. And then this is the thing, the sun has gone down over here. That's part of the reason why I'm not going to be watering up into the front yet until the sun goes down, because you actually want to water later in the day when you don't have that sun beating down, pretty much evaporating any water that you end up putting over there. So, boy, and just the power that's in this. Fantastic. Love it. Okay, so when you want to have it retract, you got to make sure you release the water out the line and then just tug it and it will start tracking back into the unit.
Do that with all of them.
So I don't always do it with the one in the back. Maybe that's why I have such a hard time with it going back in.
Because it swells up
Oh, gotcha.
when there's pressure on it. You may not see it swelling up, but it does.
All right, so that is nice and easy installed retractable hose. All right, guys, as I stated, that was nice and easy, and to be able to have the distance that I am wanting for my garden is definitely going to be beneficial. Well, like I said, I'm going to wait till the sun go down and before I water the beds up in the front. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and have me a cold one, guys. Well, thank you again, Vevor, for collaborating with me on your 100-foot retractable hose. And I will be adding the link in the description for if anyone is interested in purchasing one for themselves. And like I said, this is my second one. I'm really pleased with how the Vevor retractable hose works out for us. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I look forward to you checking out my next video.